It's beer o'clock on Reload Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Brick Lane Brewing Company, and this is a can of their Revolver Dark Hoppy Ale, coming in at 5.8% ABV in a 355 milliliter can. Australian craft beer. In the UK we have 330 cans. In Australia you have 355s, 375s, and whatever they choose. So sorry for the confusion there, but on we go with the beer review. Let's get this can out into a glass and see what we get. A dark hoppy ale. Thank you very much to Travis in Australia who sent us this beer. Pouring the beer, it looks rather good. We got a 3-finger, slightly off-white, well, going towards tan coloured. It's a jet black beer in the glass. Looks lovely. Let's get the, first of all, let's see, I was just about to get the aroma, but I want to see if it's hazy, but it's very difficult to say that it's going to be a hazy beer. It's difficult to look and see through this beer. What I will say is that it kind of looks like a stout to me, a stout or a porter. They've called it a dark hoppy ale, so maybe some kind of black IPA style beer. Let's have a look. Let's get the aroma. It smells good. It smells really good. Some really roasty, toasty, biscuity, bready, nutty notes coming from this beer. Chocolate, coffee, caramel, mixed with New World hops. The New World hops are giving off an aroma of like a licorice, a plum, a fig and a prune. A little bit of spiciness in there. It smells terrific. From the dark malts to the New World hops clashing in this glass. Touch of vanilla. It smells beautiful. Let's dive in. Cheers everybody. Cheers Travis. Oh yeah. Stone the Crows. Stone the Crows. What a terrific beer this is. Wow. Very happy. Very happy. It's got a really nice, creamy, rich mouthfeel. And that's the amount of, I'm going to say, malt and oats that they've added to this beer. It's got a lovely creaminess to it. But there's enough carbonation to push the beer around the inside of the mouth and release more of that flavour. You got the flavours then, that big combination of the roasted malt and the hops on the back end clashing in this glass. But to some degree they're not clashing. To some degree they're working in tandem, because some of the dark roasted malt will give a natural bitterness and the hops will of course give a natural bitterness. So that's where it's working in tandem. It's quite a bitter beer because of the roasted malt and because of the hops in the beer. But where it clashes is the actual real flavours in the beer. The caramel malt, the coffee that the roasted malt produces, the bitter dark chocolate that the roasted malt produces, and then it goes over to the hoppiness on the back end, that kind of plum and fig and prune and spiciness, touch of licorice, vanilla. Beautiful beer, really beautiful beer. But it's the mouthfeel. The mouthfeel is one of the most important aspects of this beer. It's part of what ties this whole beer together. If you think of when you go to a coffee shop and you have I like a latte. I like a dark, kind of milky, creamy latte. So and I ask for it strong, so I have a lot of kind of coffee in there. And you get that really kind of milky, creamy consistency. So you get the roasted malt is producing coffee flavours in the beer. That's then nicely kind of worked with that mouthfeel, that creamy mouthfeel, because of the oats. They've added oats to the beer. That's made it really nice and creamy. So it almost feels like a latte in the mouth. Complements, that was the word. The roasted malt, the mouthfeel complements the coffee. Same as bitter dark chocolate. I like a bit of bitter dark chocolate. Same, that roasted malt that they've added to the beer produces flavours of bitter dark chocolate. If you think of a piece of beer, I always put 2 or 3 in my mouth at the same time. If you whack some chocolate in your mouth, it produces like a natural creaminess, and that's where the oats in the beer really add up and really kind of, again, complement the flavour and the mouthfeel of the beer. Some of the worst beers I've had have been where you get a dark beer and they don't really add too much oat, or they don't add any oats at all. So you end up with a really thin stout and it's chocolatey and coffee and caramel, but it's like, where's the mouthfeel? Where's that creamy mouthfeel? You need it. It's so important. That's what you get from this. You get that really nice oatiness, that really nice biscuity, bready, malty flavour with the roasted malts on the back end, and of course the hops as well on the back end clashing. And have a look as I rock this beer back and forth. You can see the carbonation chasing the head of the glass. It all looks very, very good. And that's Brick Lane Brewing Company. Brick Lane Brewing Community. 5.8% ABV. Revolver Dark Hoppy Ale. I'm ready to rate it. If you have a look at the can, there's not much to read. It wraps around very quickly. You've got the address of the brewery there on the side, and then it goes back to that same print there on the side. So there's no story. There's no real kind of what this beer's about or why it's called Brick Lane Brewing Company. I just have to guess or jump on Wikipedia. I don't mind doing that. Brewers will either write paragraph after paragraph and almost a story on the side of the can, and then some brewers choose to not write really anything. It's personal preference. I sometimes think, or I mostly think, that the beer does its talking in the glass. It is nice to have a little bit of blurb on the side, what they expect you to taste from the beer, but if they don't fancy doing that, you make your own decisions. Let's rate it. Good lacing, good looking beer. Nice kind of black dark ale. Kind of heading over to, I suppose, dark hoppy ale is a really good description of this beer, rather than saying hoppy stout or black IPA. I prefer that. Dark hoppy ale. Yeah, I kind of prefer that. I'm going to rate it. I'm going to give it a very, very solid 9 out of 10. It's a 9 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.